So we're going to address the dilemma of the 90-degree rotated center. How did this happen and how can we get out of it? Well, the trick to this, the secret to this actually, is the fact that you have equivalency with these centers when they're 180 degrees from each other. So if you rotate this 90 degrees, it'll be fine. If you rotate it 180 degrees, it'll be right back where it was. Here, you can rotate this 180 degrees. And that's the clue. So while I can't rotate the entire center 90 degrees without rotating other centers 90 degrees, I can take the components of the center and do that. So what if I were to swap these two? I can't. So basically, to rotate this 90 degrees, I'd have to rotate something else 90 degrees, according to the law of cubes. To get out of this without breaking the law of cubes, what I would do is I would just take these two and I can swap these two and rotate this 90 degrees. So I can do a 90-degree rotation, which counts as one swap, and then another 90-degree rotation, or I can swap these two and rotate this 90 degrees. If I do that, these two will swap and these two will be facing the right way. All of these will be facing the wrong way. So they're going to be rotated 90 degrees. So this is going to be right, these two will be wrong, and all these four will be wrong. What I'll then do is I'll then swap these two, which will rotate this again by 90 degrees. So then all these will be in and all these will be in. At the end of the day, these two will swap, these two will swap, and this will have rotated 180 degrees, which will be just fine because this has to be 180 degrees anyway in order to make this work. If this is 180 degrees, this will still be facing longitudinally. This will still be facing vertically. So swap these two, rotate 90 degrees, this will all be out, this will be in, this will be out. Swap these two, then this rotates 90 degrees, this will then be in, and everything will be in. So that's how that happens. It was the 180 degree equivocation with this. So this was not a parity at all. This is false equivocation. This needed to be 180 degrees off, and in order to make this 180 degrees, you can actually swap each one of these individually. So how are we going to do that? Well, the way that I'm going to do that is use the technique of swapping these two and rotating this 90 degrees. And the way this works, and you can broadly apply this to any 4x4 supercube where you have to get the centers into a specific orientation. What we're going to do is we're going to slowly slide each one of these pieces 90 degrees off. So this will slide to here, this will slide here, this will slide here, and this will slide here. The first way to make it slide is doing the algorithm that puts this to here, and this to here. So this will slide over here, and this will be up. Then we're going to turn it around, this will slide over here, this will be brought back up, and then we'll do it again to slide this around. So it's easier to demonstrate than to show. So first thing we do is we do this algorithm. So we do R, U, Li, Ui, Ri, Ui, L, and normally we move this back to a U. But understand what happened is that this guy slid over here. As you can see, the color or the shading is wrong. What I need to do though is I'm going to move this back. So it's these guys that we're swapping. So this is the other one that I'm going to want to swap out. And I don't want to bring this one back down yet. This one is brought down at the very end. So this guy was here, it slid over to here. Now what I want to do is slide this guy over. So I'm going to move this over to here. Now this will come here, this will come here, and this will come here. So this will slide over, and I don't want to bring this back in until the very end where it's got to occupy this position. So again, same algorithm. And turn, this goes back. So now what we're ready to do is this is the last one to slide over. You can see this is matching, this guy matched over here. So for this to slide over, what I'm going to do is now this is also going to come back to here. So this will slide to here and this will end up here. So I'm going to move this to here. And then I'm going to take this and move this to here. Now one more turn of this algorithm will put the centers back where I want it. Turn, turn. Okay, so notice this shade is now the proper shade here and this is not, and these are no longer the proper shade. Now even if you can't get the corners back, that's okay. You can just solve it the way you would normally do it. Obviously if we can avoid that, that would be good. So move this here, And now we can take a look at what we've got. As promised, this is now all wrong. It's rotated 90 degrees, but these two are back. To rotate this another 90 degrees, I'm going to swap these two. Put this into position here, and I'm going to do that same pattern. Let's see how fast I can do it. So first thing, move this here, and this here. Turn, 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 turn. Now I'm going to bump this back up so I can slide this one. Now if ever you wanted me to go through this slower, let me know. And now finally, this is going to end up in this position while this slides here. So we're going to move this twice up here, and this once here, and now once more. Turn, turn, turn. And that's done. This moves once more back, over here, and in. So we take a look at what we did. This did indeed rotate our full 180 degrees, so that's in, and now both of these have now been solved. So I don't know that I've run into this kind of a trouble with any other 4x4 supercube. It looked like a super parity. In reality, it was not a parity. We did have to deal with parity. Instead, this was a false equivocation of rotation of an entire center, basically, not so much a parity. But you can call this super parity if you want, but that's the unique aspect of this puzzle. It doesn't happen if you do the black sticker on silver puzzle. It works only when you have this type of puzzle over here. So that is the unique solve by reduction, bringing it back to a cube form of this particular puzzle. Why not check out the layer by layer or the parity free solve?